Welcome to Black and Gold Today, brought to you by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm Rachel Whittaker. It's not realistic for things to be picture perfect in a team's first training camp scrimmage, and the Saints' play was far from pristine today. So here to break it down with me in West Virginia is sports columnist Jeff Duncan. Jeff, let's start with defensive substitution mistakes. The Saints sometimes had 12 men or even 10 men on the field during the scrimmage. I mean, is that understandable at all at this point?
Well, you can expect that, Rachel, during early in training camp like that, but I think the big problem that Sean Payton had with it was this happened just the other day in practice multiple times. He said they had 3 snaps in a row in a practice earlier this week where they only had 10 men on the field. And so to come out and see the same issues reoccurring just a few days later, and not only that, but this was an issue the Saints defense had a year ago. They had numerous times where they were called for too many men on the field. It was a point of emphasis this offseason for Sean Payton and his staff. So definitely a red flag when it's happening more than once and on consecutive days at practice. There's no doubt it's got to get fixed. Because those are the kind of things that will get you beat when you play on Sundays, especially with a team like the Saints that really has little margin for error this year.
Right, exactly. Got to start mentally, as Sean said, leading up to the scrimmage. And here's his not too pleasant take on the scrimmage.
We've got to be able to handle the substitutions better. That's one thing for sure. And those are detail things, and those are things that'll get corrected. Trust me.
Are you surprised how much trouble they had with it?
Listen, don't get me started. All right, but it'll get corrected.
Not too happy right there. Well, we'll have more right after this.
What's one of the nicest things that comes with your new Cadillac from Cadillac of New Orleans? 0% interest.
Get 0% interest on all new Cadillacs, now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude, on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
Welcome back. Well, Jeff, we know Andrews Pete had quite a challenge today in the scrimmage. Teron Armstead didn't play at all at left tackle, so Pete got a lot of work there. So who did he or maybe somebody else in the rookie class really stand out to you, good or bad, today?
Well, Pete, as you said, got a lot of reps. He played a lot of left tackle, and I think the Saints are just force-feeding him and the third-round draft pick, the quarterback Garrett Grayson. They just want to see them get as much playing time as possible. So their heads are swimming like a lot of these young guys right now. And I think it all caught up to Andrews Pete just how many snaps he played, because after practice, they ran some sprints, conditioning gassers as they're called, and he really struggled, Rachel. I mean, it was painful to watch. To his credit, he didn't give up because it looked like he wasn't going to make it a few times. But he's clearly not in the shape he needs to be in right now to compete for not only a roster. He's going to make the roster, but to compete for playing time. And they've got to get him up to stuff quickly because they're not very deep along the offensive line. And if something were to happen to one of these tackles, Zach Street or Teron Armstead, he's going to have to play. And he's not ready right now. But Stephon Anthony, the middle linebacker, he looks like the best linebacker they've had here in a long time. I think Saints fans should be really excited about what contributions he's going to make as a rookie.
Right. I think the second that the Saints selected Stephon Anthony, they really had some high hopes for him. No more Curtis Lofton. He can step right in, and he seems confident, really kind of taking over that Mike linebacker role, calling the signals and everything. So that's a bright spot that the Saints can hold on to after today. And Jeff, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you have a great weekend too, Rachel. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, everyone, at RachelW504 for links to every show and more. See you next week.